the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. Today we're taking a look at the 2022 Hyundai Tucson Preferred. Now, I have spent a lot of time talking about the Preferred Trend package, and I feel like I've neglected this Preferred model. So we're going to go and do an in-depth review of this vehicle. We're going to show you all the little details: front seat, back seat, rear trunk area. We're going to talk about the features, the electronic features, luxury features, the safety features. This is going to be a half an hour or so review. If this video is longer than that, then that means we've gone a little off topic at the end, or we're answering your questions. So that's what's going on. And in the meantime, what I'll do is, if you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark, because we are live. We're going to let our live audience jump in here for the first couple minutes. And if you want to know how to join us, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let me flip around over here, and we'll show you how to join us. To go to our YouTube channel, you're probably already there right now, unless this is embedded somewhere. You're going to refresh the page exactly at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is what we're doing right now. And you're going to see this section be taken over by our live video. You click into that, you'll have to watch a quick little ad. While I'm trying to skip that ad, ooh, this is pretty. Hold on a second. What are we watching here? Oh, this is like a travel thing, I think. Oh no, it's a TELUS commercial. All right, so we're gonna skip that ad. If you are watching with us and you are in Ontario and you wanna buy a car, connect with me. There'll be a link in the description as soon as this video is done. You can reach out to me and we'll connect you up with Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, or Owen Sound Hyundai. We had some people in here this morning, came from Etobicoke, and they bought a Telluride from us because of these videos, so you wouldn't be the only one. This happens pretty much all the time around here. Brantford Hyundai and Owen Sound as well. So there you go. So that's what we're doing. Let's see. Let's talk some news and notes. Yesterday, or I guess overnight in my world anyways, the Kia Niro was reintroduced. So the Kia Niro was, or will be here probably as a 2023 model. I have no official confirmation yet, but I have no reason to believe it won't come here. And you can find that on, if you go to social media sites, Kia Worldwide has a lot of good pictures there. Speaking of social media sites, if you want to follow us, you can follow us right here. That's how to find me on Instagram. I'm not saying you have to find me there, but we do post every single day of what we're about to do live on that Instagram, so you can follow us there if you want. What else is going on in the Hyundai world? I think the Ioniq 5 was just voted German Car of the Year, if I saw that correctly. I just read the headline. I haven't read the whole article yet, so we'll do that as well. And a quick question: if you order a PHV from Korea, do you get a VIN assigned when it ships? The VIN assignment happens, just so you guys know, if you're ordering cars, before you get a VIN number, if you're ordering a car, then we're giving you the best guess that we've been told. Once you have a VIN number, we'll know production date, and then we'll know shipping time, and it'll tell us, when it'll arrive in compound, that kind of thing. So if you don't have a VIN, it hasn't been entered production yet. So there we go. Now we know why I let you do these videos, giving sales without giving financing. I missed that. I'm trying to read this. Now we know why they let you do these videos. You're the salesman without giving financing options. I don't know financing options. All right, we are already at 3-minute mark, so I gotta jump into this video, and we'll jump in over here. Oops, there we go. I honestly know how to work this camera. So here we go. The Santa, oh boy, not the Santa. This is the Tucson Preferred. And this is kind of one step up from the base level Essential model. And of course, in the States, they have different names than we do here in Canada. But I like it quite a bit. And I think I've given it not a fair shake, because there's a nice little package above this that kind of turns this into almost a luxury car for some people. So let's just look at what we've got, just so you see where we are in the packaging area here. And then we'll dig right into everything. So again, in Canada, we have the Essential package. This is the Hyundai Canada website. Essential package, $27,799, $30,199. That is a front-wheel drive version on the Preferred. The one we have today happens to be an all-wheel drive. So if we just select this right down here, we can see the options available, assuming I have good internet, which I apparently don't. We'll go to next down here. There we go. And then there is a front-wheel drive, which is no charge, all-wheel drive, which is a $2,000 option, and then over here, the Trend package at $2,600, which you have to select the all-wheel drive first. So to get this Trend package, if we were to select that, some of this is a little misleading. The all-wheel drive obviously has to be included in there. It talks about LED daytime running lights, which we have, but they're not in the dark chrome housing. But you're getting a lot there. Leather seats, the panoramic roof and leather seats are the big things there. Power driver's seat, lumbar support, all kinds of things. So again, we've done other videos on our channel of the Trend package, and I quite like it. I think for some people, it's a pretty good value, but it's also $2,600, and it may be $2,600 over and above the all-wheel drive, which you may not want. So that's why we're going to review this one here today. So let's jump in here, and let me just go back to my comments so I can make sure I have them. There we go. Here's the key fob right here. Just to be really clear, this is a demo vehicle, so when we go through it, you'll see that somebody's driving this car. There's some coin change and stuff like that sitting out there, and I don't want to mess with somebody's stuff, so there we go. All right, so here we go. Lock, unlock, sort of the horn panic button, and remote start. Now, one thing we did find out, I can't show you right now, but I can show you from this side. You'll have to watch the secrets of our Windows video. It's about 1.5 minutes long. It shows cool things that this car does. Anyways, what I like about this car is it's kind of ready to go for a lot of families, and it really is an option to downsize from maybe something like the Santa Fe in the past into something like this and still get a lot of options and a lot of features. And I say that because in the past, the Tucson only towed 2,000 pounds, and the current Kia Sportage only tows 2,000 pounds, but this one can tow 3,500 pounds. Now, again, we did a towing video to explain what you can really tow with towing capacities and that kind of thing, so you can watch that on our video as well, what do tow capacities really mean. But the point is, a lot of tent trailers are like 2,200 pounds, 2,400 pounds, and this can easily tow those kinds of trailers. So you kind of have that ideal family vehicle. The rear seat space, we'll show you in a little bit, is increased over the previous generation. So you have that as well. You've got a really long roof rack here, which I'm a kayaker. I like the long spread there to put my kayak up there. But whether it's a roof box, whether it's bikes, bike racks, other things like that, you've got some space to put some things up there, which makes it really nice. And then you've got an overall pretty modern kind of look over here. Out front, the Tucson is kind of known for the headlight or the daytime running lights blending into the grille. Now, like we said, that preferred trend package will tint these a little darker and make it look exactly like the grille. When this car is off, you can see where those daytime running lights are. They're a little bit lighter in color, and you've got headlights down here. The headlights are also LED. There's different types of LED headlights, but these still have LED headlights, which is quite nice. So you're getting a lot of features here. You've also got things like the camera in the front right over there. That gives you not only forward collision avoidance, not only lane keeping assist, so it can see the lane markers and keep you within lane, but also lane follow assist, which we'll show you, which can keep you dead center in the lane if you choose to use that using that camera. You also have blind spot detection on this vehicle, but it's blind spot detection with collision avoidance. So what that means is if you're in the driver's seat, and let's pretend that we're in the lane next to you. Obviously, if you went to signal, the light would light up and it would see us here. But where the avoidance comes in handy is, let's say I'm a lane over and you come signaling in, and there's obviously no warning there because there's nobody in that lane, but I decide to come in around the same time. Well, not only will it beep to warn you, but it is capable of braking the opposite side front wheel, which turns you back when it sees something. So if you both start coming in at the same time, in a situation like that, the blind spot warning alone is too late. So that collision avoidance ability, the ability to potentially brake that front wheel and just nudge you back into your lane, is a really nice feature. And because you have the blind spot collision avoidance, you also have the radar, the hardware for that. So the hardware for that is a radar thing. It's right back here in that plastic bumper. And if you were to back up with this car, you of course have the backup camera. So you have the, let's say there's a minivan parked beside you, you're backing up, my hand represents the minivan. There's no possible way you can see me driving here because you can't see through minivans or trucks or whatever else you got. So that radar plate can see me, it can warn you of oncoming traffic in your backup camera, and it can help you avoid a collision with me as I'm crossing your path. So really nice safety features in this package, and I feel like it's, for a lot of people, worth the jump up from the essential package, but still a pretty good value overall. So we're gonna jump in here, push button start, which is nice, which means you have the button on the door here in Canada to unlock the driver's door. You can do both doors as well. And again, this is a demo vehicle, so keep in mind somebody is living in this vehicle, and to be very fair to that person, I asked their boss for this vehicle, not knowing it's a demo vehicle, and he just let me have it. So she didn't know she was gonna be letting me have this vehicle today, so no judgment here, no judgment. Overall, we saw the Tucson yesterday, or sorry, a couple days ago, and we compared the top trim, the luxury ultimate, the ultimate hybrid model. You have a lot of similarities here, but there are a few differences in the overall feel. So for instance, my Santa Cruz that I own personally has the same type of interior in here, but you'll notice on my Santa Cruz, this is a harder plastic, but over here, the identical piece is a nice softer plastic. Well, here, just a few more hard plastics. I don't think that's gonna bother many people, but it is something to keep in mind. When you do go to the higher trim, it's not just the features you see, There are some differences in the way that you interact with the vehicle, the way you touch some surfaces, although they look the same on both trims, feel more luxurious in the higher end trim. And I think that's fine for some people. I think people who spend more money, they get that, that's fine. But I think some people don't mind if this is maybe not soft touch, like who's gonna touch this anyways, right? Over here, let's turn the car to the on position. We are inside. So again, because it's being used, you can see it's a little bit dirty. Now what I do is I keep a cloth in my car, a microfiber cloth, and give everything a quick wipe every third day or so, and it's perfectly clean. So that's one nice thing about these touch things. Those of you who want a volume knob, you get one here. Just zip it up or down, and you have that as well. So one thing that's nice about the lower trim vehicles is, for whatever reason, the higher trim vehicles do not have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So they are, this one is wireless, where the higher trims are wired only. Now this person may or may not know that. She's currently got her, let's close these down. She's currently got a USB port plugged in there. But of course, with the wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you have the ability to connect your phone, not just through the Bluetooth, like Bluetooth streaming, but to use things like Google Maps, Apple Maps, those kinds of things, right through the system. It's almost as if it's built into the system. So having the ability to have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, in addition to the Bluetooth features that are wireless, is pretty handy. And you only get that on the 8-inch screen. The larger screen, you don't. While we're looking at the screen, we'll look at the backup camera for just a second here. You can see if I turn the wheel, the yellow and red lines will follow roughly where I'm going, but the blue lines will stay in line with that parking spot that you're backing into. So you just line up those blue lines with the parking spot, and you will be nice and dead center in the parking spot. It's super helpful. They're angled perfectly to where that parking spot would be, which is kind of nice to have. All right, let's turn it back to the center there. Taking a look over here at the dash, we've seen a digital dash in a lot of these Tucsons, and this one, of course, is not the digital dash when you're moving down, but I do like a lot of things on here. There's a lot of information that's conveyed, and it's very clear. So you have your speedometer, which I kind of like the way it kind of rolls up the outside there. Your tachometer goes the opposite way up there. Clean and easy. Fuel gauge is prominent. Temperature gauge is prominent, and those are fine. And then, of course, you have this multi-information color display here that tells you a lot what's going on. So you can see my trip kilometers. I've done 0. It would show me my average. And then this is a bar graph of instant fuel efficiency. So if you look at that a little closer, you can see exactly what you're getting. If you're averaging 10 liters per 100 kilometers, it'll be on that line. But of course, it'll be, you know, that'll be your instant. It'll be lower. So as you're accelerating 25 or so, back down to sitting 5, 6 or so in regular driving sometimes. So you get that nice colored bar graph in there. You've got the auto start stop feature, which some people like, some people don't. You can turn it on or off. Your drive modes are there, and see how it says eco there in your drive mode? That is your drive mode, but it's not the only hint that you're in eco mode. See the lights on the outside here? We're going to switch our drive modes here. We're in normal mode. Sorry, we're in eco mode. We're going to go to normal, and it goes blue. Smart, it goes orangish. No, sorry, we're in sport. It's red. There we go. Yeah. And the other smart mode goes blue. So you can see that changing. When you go to terrain modes, I think they just stay the same. Snow is in blue, mud is in blue, and sand is in blue as well. But the point is, we'll show you those drive modes, terrain modes in a second here. But yeah, you can put your car in eco mode and know that you're in eco mode because of the green over on the side. Now, one thing I have to test is I should test this on the way back, and I'll have to get back to you guys about this. When you're in smart mode, the smart mode down there, the smart mode defaults to eco mode, but we'll jump it out into normal or sport if you're heavier on the gas pedal. So I wonder if this will change depending on my driving style. If I get really aggressive, will it go red? If I go real easy, will it go to green? I'm not sure, because the smart mode here often changes to that green eco color. Remember the eco mode was green? Let's just show you again here for a second. Sport mode is red. When it's in eco, it's in that, I call it green, maybe it's a bluey color. But the point is, when you see that eco, sometimes the smart mode light itself changes color depending on what mode it's putting you in. So that might be something that also can be shown. I don't know. We'll have to find out as we go along, but I'm going to leave it back where we had it for this person who's driving this car, and it is in the eco mode. So that's pretty cool. Remember I told you earlier in the video about lane follow assist? That's the one that keeps you completely centered in the lane. You have that here. What I didn't mention is the smart cruise control as well. So lane follow assist, of course, can center you completely centered in the lane, and the car actually steers itself, keeping itself centered in the lane. So you're still responsible for where your car goes. But if you just keep your hands on the wheel, you can feel it nudging you back and forth to keep you dead center lane. It is a feature that I absolutely love, and I'm a control freak. I want to drive the car myself, but you know what? When you're in stop and go traffic, or when you're just driving around town, having a button that just centers the car out for you makes it pretty cool. And of course, if you're driving athletically, you can turn it off. Now, where that's nice is with the smart cruise control. Smart cruise control can see the vehicles ahead of you. You set your cruise control, and if someone pulls in front of you, the car is capable of slowing itself down or speeding itself up, depending on if someone's in front of you or if you're clear to go. So you can set your cruise control speed. Let's say we set it for 110 kilometers an hour. Someone comes in front of us, and they're going 100. The car will slow down to 100. When they clear or when you clear out around them, you can pick up your speed. That's where most people use smart cruise control. Where I love using it is in stop and go traffic, because it sees the car in front of you. You'll have a display here telling you that it sees the car in front of you, and it can accelerate and brake all on its own. And in stop and go traffic, there's lots of acceleration and braking, and this works really well in that car. So really just nice features to have there in this vehicle. All right, let's take it out of reverse here, put it in park, come back down. Now, on the higher trim, you have the automatic climate control. When you have the automatic climate control, you set the temperature to, call it 22 degrees or whatever you want. There'll be dual zones in that vehicle. That is on the trend package when you step up here. So when you have trend package, oh, is lane keep and lane follow the same button? You know what? I think it is. This one may not have lane keeping. You're right. They've moved that lane keeping away, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think lane keeping is now in the menus. So what I'm showing, just so I have to double check here, lane keeping is right there. And when it goes green, it'll keep you in the lanes. You can turn that off through the menu items. And then lane follow is not the same button, but it is down here. And when I turn that on, you'll see, oops, let me just turn it on or off for you again. I thought you were looking at it, but there we go. So look beside the eco and that car between the two lanes. When I turn the lane follow assist on, you'll see that icon show up, and both of these will go green when they're active, and it's actively steering the car for you. So good question there. And it's not a separate button so much, but it is in the menu items now. Anyways, back to climate control really quickly here. Manual climate control. One nice thing about the trend system is the automatic climate control, which is kind of nice to have. And then on the trend system, we've shown you in the past, in this section here, there are perforations, so you can go to a full diffuse mode. So right now you can only blow through these two vents here and that vent over there. If you have the diffuse mode in the higher trim, it can blow air through the entire front dash. So it kind of spreads the mode out, and it kind of blows like a gentle breeze on you. Kind of a cool thing to have, but that's only on the automatic climate control, which is in the trend package or above. So coming down here a little further, just automatic climate control. You can see no wireless phone charging in this car, which is not the end of the world. We have a lot of space down here to put our phone and other stuff, or coins, hair things. I don't use these, so we're going to just leave that there. But you can see lots of space there, quite a bit more than my Santa Cruz, for instance, which has the phone charger and a much smaller space there. So larger space there, even though it has the traditional gear shift level here. One thing that's important here is the automatic transmission is a traditional automatic transmission. It's not a dual clutch. It's not a CVT or IVT. It's the traditional 8-speed automatic transmission. If you want to shift your own gears, there's no paddle shifters in this model, but you can choose your own gears like that. So if you're towing a trailer and just wanted to downshift or upshift, you could do that there. Drive mode and terrain mode, again, you Americans don't have this. We showed you the snow, mud, and sand mode there. We're just selecting them by switching to terrain mode here and swiping up and down, which shows you in the display. We're going to put it back to the drive mode, and we'll keep it in the eco mode there. So drive mode, terrain modes are there. Hill descent control, and auto hold for the electronic parking brake. And there's a button here to turn on your backup camera anytime you want. Heated seats and heated steering wheel still available here in this car. So you can see that is quite nice. And driver and passenger only. All right, we are 18 minutes in. We've got about 31 people on. A little bit down off the regular. That's totally cool. That means I can hopefully get to your questions more easily. Let's see if we can go for like 45 likes. I feel like that's totally reasonable. There'll be a couple hundred people on during this video for sure. So I'm going to go and take your questions right now. Feel free to hit the like button if you want to all have some fun and have a bunch of people join us. We can all do it together. Ready? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit the like button now, and you'll find that a whole bunch of people join us, which is kind of fun to do. All right, let's just keep the car off for a second here. Going to jump out, and we will take your questions. So those of you that are wondering, we do this every single weekday live at 2 o'clock. So some people have asked me that during videos. Just want people know this is not the only time we'll be doing the Tucson. We've done some yesterday. We'll do some again in the future. And I'm just going to go over to your questions right now. So give me a second here. And okay. Okay, so lane keeping assist, we were talking about that. Yeah, so some of the cars, newest Forte, newest Elantra, the Tucson, they don't always have that lane keeping button to the left of the steering wheel anymore. They, I believe it's in the menu items. I got to go find it on this car exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's in the menus. And then, of course, the lane follow assist is the one on the steering wheel now. So that's a little different than what they used to do. Constant improvements, I guess, or constant evolution of products. Athletically driving. Peter's nice way of saying driving recklessly because someone cut you off and made you mad. No, no, no. Athletic driving is beyond the traditional limits. Let's call it that. Yeah, we'll just call it that. Front facing good is, but not the sides and the tail. Don't like it, no problem. Somebody asked if this is the Sorento EX equivalent. No, this is, there's no equivalent in the Kia lineup right now, but there's about to be. We were at the LA Auto Show last week, and actually last week around this time, we were looking at the Kia Sportage, or Sportage if you're in the Americans, and that is a direct competitor to this. The current Sportage is a little bit smaller than this. The next Sportage will share likely the engine, definitely the frames, and they're about the same size. So you will see that. When do you think the Tucson Ultimate PHEV will be at the dealerships? Probably beginning of the year, late this year. Don't know about the PHEVs yet. Somebody's asking me power numbers, and that's a super good question. And I know it's 180-ish horsepower. I really should know this, so bear with me for a second. Oh man, it slipped my mind. It's 181-ish horsepower. But I totally I have so many cars in my head sometimes before I do this, so I'm gonna beg forgiveness and quickly check the specs here myself. I feel like I should have known this off the top of my head, but every now and then I get mixed up with different cars. So horsepower is 187 horsepower, 178 foot-pounds of torque. I do apologize for not having that memorized. Pretty good numbers out of a 2.5 liter four-cylinder. Again, you've got a hybrid model above this that adds some power, adds some torque, but only has 2,000 pounds towing capacity. This one has 3,500 pounds towing capacity because it has actually a bigger engine. The hybrid uses a 1.6 turbo. This is a 2.5. It also has that regular 8-speed automatic transmission. So yeah, you get some pros and some cons there as well. All right, so we'll keep going through some questions here just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I know there's a few in there. Okay. Heck, a lot of add-ons for only $2,600. Yeah, when we talked about that, if you're going to get this with all-wheel drive, it's worth looking at the trend package on this because, like I said, that panoramic roof is pretty awesome. You do have a lot more luxury features: the leather seats, the powered seats, the tinted front grille. It really does make this car look a class above. And like I said, for only $2,600. But there are a lot of people where they don't need to spend that $2,600. They don't really want a panoramic roof or something like that. And it makes sense to go with this. But me, I have trouble not liking that trend package. And that's just, again, put my personal biases out there, right? Okay, how about the Kona N-Line Ultimate? When do you, I don't know when these vehicles are coming. So I don't tend to pay attention right now with all the shortages of stuff when things are coming. There is an N-Line in our dealership right now in Brantford Hyundai. So, but as far as keeping up with how long the waits are for some of these, they can change almost daily. So I'm not keeping up on every trim line of every model and that kind of thing. So I don't know everything. All right, let's keep going through here. Did we miss anything else? Okay, yeah, let's just keep going. So we're gonna go right now, rear seat, trunk space, and I wanna do some lighting because it can change based on these trim lines, and you may see some differences there. So rear seat, I'm a big fan of the rear seat here. Hey, look at that. Remember I said this is a demo? She's got some stuff in here. We're gonna go passenger side because you can see there's lots of space in here. These are things I feel like I should check before I jump in here. Let's try this side. Okay, so I can't say for sure that passenger seat is exactly where I am driver's wide, but ooh, this is gonna be tricky. I'm gonna have to switch hands. Okay, you can see it's pretty easy for me to get in. I never do this on this side. This is fun. So lots going on here. You've got a lot of headroom here, and oh boy, I'm not used to working this camera with my other hand. Okay, you've got my legs flush on the seat, and the knee room is tremendous. I mean, this is pretty much equal with the driver's seat. Actually, it's further back than the driver's seat. So me, as a 6-footer, sitting behind a 6-footer, there's tons of space in here. So what we used to think of as a mid-size SUV is really what this car is very probably competitive with. So let me switch hands to where I'm used to, flip the camera around here and take a look. Driver's side, you do have a pocket. Passenger side, you do have a pocket as well. This is one of the vehicles that does not have the plastic backing here. It is cloth seat and it's cloth backing. So I like the plastic backing, but it is what it is. You do have the vents back here. Now, a lot of this interior is shared with the Santa Cruz. This whole area here, you could get very, very, very similar to in the Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz doesn't have vents in Canada until the top trim line, the ultimate trim. You do have vents back here on the lower trim here. You don't have any other ports though, any USB or anything else like that on this trim line. So kind of some wins, kind of some losses. It is what it is, but very, very roomy in the back seat. and you don't sacrifice trunk space. And I should mention that you can also recline those seats that I was in. You don't really lose trunk space though. Actually, let's show you the back here for a second before we go. A couple interesting things. For whatever reason, this is buried behind glass, the logo. I don't know why they do it. It's a clean look. It looks cool, I guess. And the thing I really like is the rear wiper does not sit here. Now, they do it for style, I'm sure, right? It hides up underneath there and it wipes down from underneath the spoiler there. The reason I like this is as a Canadian, we all know what it's like when we use our little grid here to clear the window in the winter. And what happens is all of that turns to water while we're driving. We park the car, all that water drips down, sits on our rear wiper, and then it freezes again. And then when we go to use it, we've busted off the rubber on our wiper blade. That doesn't happen on this car because all of it wipes down and doesn't sit on the wiper, it just comes down the car, and the wiper is hidden up out of the snow. So that's a really smart feature on the backside there for that wiper. It's just a better system. Pop the trunk open, no power tailgate or anything else there. Oh, we don't do it. Oh boy, teddy bear test is gonna happen. See, this is where I'm nervous about showing people stuff, but that's okay. Teddy bear is gonna sit in here. We did a teddy bear test in yesterday's video. It's a teddy bear and a half trunk easily, but you can see he's got lots of height, even sharing you with space with your groceries. He's pretty happy. Yeah, you want real world examples? We're not gonna look in those bags because I don't know what's in them. But yeah, tons of space back here. The floor also can be lowered down, and the seats can be folded. So really what you need to know is the Tucson has class-leading space. And again, if you're considering what was a mid-sized vehicle, maybe you had a previous Santa Fe, now you can definitely consider the Tucson as a potential option, or the Santa Fe, depends on which one you want to go. Technically, the Tucson, according to the spec sheet, has more trunk volume than the Santa Fe right now, but I do think the Santa Fe has more underfloor storage, which allows for more overall. But there you go. So there's Teddy. He's pretty happy back there. We're going to leave him back there for a while. Don't let me forget him there because he's going to go back to another dealership. All right, you know what? We'll close this down. I am going to forget him, but we'll leave him there anyways. It'll freak out the person who's driving this car. We're going to take a look at lighting here for a quick second because there are some differences between this and the higher trim, and I'll try to explain those to you. And if you want to see them in detail, what we can do is you can check out some of our other videos. So I'm going to hit the start-stop button. We're going to turn the vehicle to the, let's go full headlighting there, and we'll turn the left side signal on. All right. Signal light, you've got them in the mirror there, which is nice. We showed you the other day. You've got body color up top and black down low. And when you come around the front side, signal lights are right by those daytime running lights. Now what's cool is when you turn the headlights on, these daytime running lights actually dim a little bit. These daytime running lights are what's going to light up those highway signs. They have sort of scattered light. Down here you have fairly sharp cutoff. Now there are two levels of headlights in this car. These ones are called MFR style LED lights, and they are excellent. But technically, these sort of rounded ones that look a little bit more cube rounded, they are the better higher end lights. So let's just take a look for a second here. Blazingly bright and still very sharp cutoff. So you can see as we come around here, the only difference between this and, for instance, the Santa Cruz that I drive and the higher trim level Tucson is the cutoff is just a little bit sharper, which looks pretty impressive because this is pretty sharp as it is. But you get that white light, which makes it easy to identify things at night because your eyes are used to that sort of daylight type of color of light. So taking a look back over here, again, daytime running lights are here and there, signal lights over there, and then you have the headlights in the pods down there. So people have sometimes asked about fog lights in this car. You do not need them. The headlights are quite low, very bright, very well spread, and that's why you wouldn't have fog lights on there. Come around here, you can see the lights sort of coming through there. It does show up better at night or at in person than in the camera. Over here, if you go to that trend package, the one with the panoramic roof and everything else, you get LED lighting back here. LED lighting makes this look like a luxury car. These are perfectly fine. They have a kind of jeweled look to them. It's hard to show on camera, but you can certainly see the, as I roll across here, it's just a little different kind of jeweled look to me. The difference is right now there's a chrome panel behind this red area, and you can kind of see when the lights are off that there's a continuation of that light. Which isn't really a continuation, it's just a visual thing. But when the lights are on, there's no continuation. On the higher trim levels, you will have an LED strip right through there as well. and LED taillights there. Signal lights are down low. Some people like to argue with me and tell me that they should be higher. That's a design choice. If you're going to argue with me about safety, I'll disagree with you all day long, and we'll talk about that in a totally other video. So they are down low. You can see them. The other thing is that's very easy to see in real life, a little harder to see on camera. So there is an upper level signal that you will definitely see if you're behind this car. And if you're tailgating so close that you can't see that signal, well, let me tell you, the problem's not where the signal's located. The problem is the person who's tailgating that close. So there's overall lighting, the overall look. We're about a half an hour in, so we've met our time obligation. We are short on likes. We were going to go for, I believe, 45 likes. We've got 47 people on, so I'm hoping 10 people can say, you know what? I appreciate that he's given the effort. I appreciate he gave it his best. Maybe 10 people can hit the like button. Meanwhile, I'm going to jump into your questions here and make sure I'm not missing too many. And I always tend to miss some, and I do apologize for that. Is this the plug-in version? No. So this is, again, if you just missed the beginning, one step from the bottom. So there's Essential, and then there's the Preferred. So this is a Preferred with the add-on of all-wheel drive. Don't forget Teddy. That's a very good point. You know what? I'm driving this vehicle back. I would notice him eventually, hopefully. So there we go. Somebody says they got the Kia Canada survey for buying their vehicle, and they asked where they learned their features, and they said this YouTube channel. I appreciate that. I feel like maybe a few more people should do that every now and then. All right. Any idea when the Forte GT will arrive in dealerships in Canada? I do not know that offhand. The 2022 Forte has already showed up, so I don't know if the 2022 Forte GT will show up. Are we back? Are we good? Somebody let me know if we're still alive here. I had an interruption there on my phone, so somebody can let me know if we're still here. Somebody can let me know in the comments, maybe. There's a delay. All right, we're here. So yeah, Forte 5, haven't seen it yet. Keep in mind the Forte is built in Mexico. Forte 5 is built in Korea. So sometimes the scheduling, especially when a new model arrives, is not exactly synced up the exact same way. So we'll see what happens with that. Where are we? Okay. If I end up buying a Kia or a Hyundai in BC, is there any way you can give some props for the sale? Just do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch a few of my videos every month, and you and I are good. If you're in Ontario, I'll tell you honestly what frustrates me when I hear somebody, oh, I'm in Oakville, so you guys are too far away. No, we're not. We're worthwhile. I put the effort in. If you're in Ontario, at least give me a chance. But if you're in BC, just subscribe, watch some videos, like it, like every video, comment on it. That's awesome. That'd be a great way to help us out. Okay. Hardly use a wiper in the rear anyways on any of my cars, but the ice is super annoying. Yeah, I just like the way the wiper's tucked underneath that spoiler. Can you really move it back and forth remotely? Oh, not this car. That's a good question. So on the other vehicles, on the very highest trim of the Tucson, you have a button for forward and backwards over here, and you can very much move the car straight out forward and straight out backwards. As long as you're holding that button, it will move forward. This does not have it on this trim. It's called the Smart Park feature. There's a number of Hyundai vehicles that have it on usually the very top trim. What do we got? The Sonata has it. The Tucson has it. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I think the Ioniq 5 will have it when it comes out. But yeah, we don't have it on this trim line, so I can't show you. I did do a video, but I should probably find one of my live videos, I did that on the Tucson Limited, but it wasn't the one I did just the other day. I'll have to find that sometime. Maybe we'll just bring it back in and do it on a separate video. So there we go. How does the Tucson compare with the Kia Sorento plug-in? Totally different models. If you look at the plug-in Tucson, which has not arrived yet, then you're talking similar powertrains, and I mean, it's just a matter of body style. One's a hair bigger, I guess, and different trims, that kind of thing. So, but I haven't seen the Tucson plug-in hybrids, so I'm a little hesitant to talk about that. Right now, you're looking at different models. You could go hybrid versus hybrid. And I should point out, if you're interested in hybrids or plug-in hybrids, the Sorento hybrid just showed up. We'll probably do that video tomorrow. We've been doing the plug-in hybrid, but not the regular hybrid. So we'll compare that as well tomorrow. But yeah, until I see them, I'm not sure. Okay. Do you know any specs of the second generation Kia that has just been announced? So specs of the Sportage, if that's what you're talking about, I don't have anything officially, but I can tell you just visually, the Sportage that we saw at the LA Auto Show is very similar size to this. I bet you the wheelbase is probably nearly identical. Rear seat space is very similar. Trunk space is very similar. It's really what they do with the differences inside and what they do with the differences in body style. But again, it's going to be Kia's version of this vehicle. It will be the 2023 Sportage here in Canada. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there, guys. We hit our 45 likes, so I appreciate that. If anybody wants to still leave a like, go ahead and do that. Tomorrow we're bringing in the Sorento Hybrid. And next week, we'll probably go back to the Carnival for the Kia side, and we're going to see what we can do with the Hyundai. Hyundai's, of course, just like Kia, is tight on inventory, but it seems like in the Kia world, we just keep getting a really nice variety of stuff. Hyundai's in a bit of a pinch right now, I think, but we'll figure that out. All right, you guys are reminding me about my teddy bear. I do appreciate that. It's been fun. I'm going to try to do a video on Yuvo Intelligence, which is now Kia Connect, and BlueLink. Hyundai is BlueLink. I'm going to try to do a video on that as early as tomorrow. We'll call it a Kia class. It'll be a little bit longer than normal. But you guys ask a lot of questions about that, so I have both on my phone, mostly because I happen to own both a newer Kia and a newer Hyundai. So we're going to try to do a video like that, just to at least introduce the topic and start the discussion. And then if there's questions from there, we'll just keep making more videos. So I'll try to do that this week as well. Lots coming up. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for likes, comments, subscriptions. I appreciate it. And we'll see you again tomorrow.